In this video, I'll be discussing the effect of having a traumatic childhood on adult human behavior. I'm sure many of you are on Netflix and are familiar with this story. This guy here is one of the most well-known serial killers in history. His violent crime spree, including murders, sexual assaults, child abductions, and home invasions, threw California into a state of panic in the mid-80s. This is Richard Ramirez, aka the Night Stalker, who was convicted of 13 counts of murder, 5 attempted murders, 11 sexual assaults, and 14 burglaries. Danny Rawling, Ted Bundy, and Edmund Kemper are 3 famous serial killers from the last century. What's similar between them and the Night Stalker is their story, where they all had a disturbing upbringing and abusive childhood. This gives rise to the question, can a traumatic childhood haunt your future health? Well, unfortunately, yes. And that is actually caused by adverse childhood experiences. That is some of the most intensive and frequently occurring sources of stress that children may suffer early in life. Such experiences include multiple types of abuse, from physical abuse to psychological and sexual abuse, as well as emotional and physical neglect by the parents or caregivers. Aside from socioeconomic factors, there is a range of other risk factors for adverse childhood experience, involving poor and harmful parenting approaches and the relative stress in which families live, like divorce cases where children living in single parent families have shown an increased risk for maltreatment, including children living in households where domestic violence takes place, encompassing physical, psychological, sexual, financial, and emotional abuse. Additional causes could be from household mental illness, where parents or other adults in the house are diagnosed or undiagnosed with mental illness. Another reason is substance misuse by adults within the household, with drug misuse or addiction problems, including alcoholism. The last reason is criminality, where a parent or relative who usually lives in the house is either in prison or on probation. Some of the consequences of having a disturbed childhood results in mental health illness with an increase of 2 to 5 times higher attempts of suicide. It also results in chronic disease with a greater incidence of lung disease, liver disease, heart disease, and premature death. Additionally, individuals with greater exposure to adverse childhood experiences was associated with engagement in sexual risk behaviors, therefore having a higher risk for sexually transmitted diseases.